Look at this lake. It is high up in the mountains. A crystal clear pool of water completely cut off from the rest of the world. No rivers flow in, no rivers flow out. And yet, it is full of fish. Wait, how is that even possible? For a fish to get to a new home, it needs a highway, a river, a stream. But alpine lakes are basically stone vaults. They sit in these massive, high-altitude craters surrounded by miles of dry, jagged rock. Fish can't walk. They definitely can't fly. And without a river to swim up, these mountain pools should be completely dead. For decades, this drove biologists crazy. How does a fully aquatic creature cross miles of dry land? Well, scientists looked into it, and the answer is kind of gross. Now, to be completely fair, for a lot of these lakes, the answer is us. Wildlife agencies have literally dropped millions of trout out of airplanes to stock remote lakes. But historical records show fish thriving in untouched pools centuries before airplanes were even invented. So, biologists look to the sky. Charles Darwin, yes, that Darwin, thought, maybe fish eggs just stick to the webbed feet of wading ducks, catching a free flight to the mountains. It sounded perfect, but there was a problem. Fish eggs are incredibly fragile. Exposed to freezing high-altitude winds, they dry out and die in minutes. A flying bird wouldn't be delivering life. It would just be delivering dead eggs. If the eggs couldn't survive on the outside of a bird, what if they traveled on the inside? To most biologists, this sounded unhinged. A duck's digestive tract is a biological wood chipper. It is a ruthless, highly acidic gauntlet designed to dissolve bone and shell. For a soft, jelly-like fish egg, it shouldn't just be a journey, it should be an execution. But in 2020, researchers ran a bizarre experiment. They fed captive ducks hundreds of live fish eggs, and then they waited. They expected to collect the bird droppings, put them under a microscope, and find nothing but dissolved mush. But then, they saw it. Against all biological odds, some of the eggs survived. A tiny percentage of fish eggs have a membrane tough enough to pass through a bird's highly acidic gut completely unharmed. And when researchers took these pooped-out eggs and placed them in warm water, they hatched into healthy, swimming baby fish. Imagine this. A flock of migrating ducks gorges on fish eggs in a crowded valley river. They take off, flying hundreds of miles into the mountains. Hours later, they land in a barren alpine lake. Nature takes its course, the duck poops, and they essentially plant live, fertilized fish eggs directly into the water, safely insulated by the bird's waste. Because fish lay so many eggs, it only takes 1 or 2 lucky survivors to jumpstart an entire population. This isn't just quirky animal trivia. This changes how we view these environments. It explains how aquatic snails, microscopic water bears, and invasive fish can magically appear in man-made farm ponds overnight. Birds aren't just visitors to these isolated lakes. They are literal ecosystem builders. So, the next time you hike to a pristine alpine lake, look at the fish darting through the shallows. It didn't swim there. It flew.